I will never forget that sound. The splash itself was nothing unusual, the kind you hear whenever someone dives into a pool. But the scream that followed was different. Raw, primal, torn from somewhere deep inside. It was the kind of cry a man makes when his body realizes it's in danger before his mind catches up. I stood there, concealed behind the curtains, watching him thrash against the water. My wife's lover. The man who thought he could swim in my pool, sit at my table, and occupy my bed when I wasn't around. I didn't blink. I didn't even twitch. Because this wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't anger. It was preparation. My wife and I had been married for 11 years. From the outside, our lives looked enviable. A beautiful house, 2 shiny cars in the driveway, dinners full of laughter with friends. She had once been radiant, the woman people admired, the wife I thought I'd grow old beside. People called us the couple others wished to be. And perhaps, for a time, they weren't wrong. But comfort can be deceptive. It softens your edges, dulls your senses. You stop noticing the small absences until the silence between you becomes unbearable. She stopped reaching for my hand. She no longer cared to ask how my day had been. Her smile grew polite, the kind you offer to a guest you'd rather see leave. At first, I blamed myself. Maybe I'd grown predictable. Maybe long hours at work had carved away the man she once loved. So I tried harder. Flowers, dinners, spontaneous trips. But gestures mean nothing when someone's heart has already chosen elsewhere. The signs came slowly, like hairline cracks in a mirror. A stray strand of hair out of place. Wine glasses in the sink, though I never drank wine. A damp towel hanging in the bathroom when I'd been gone all day. And then, the pool. Chlorine clings to the air. Sometimes, when I returned earlier than expected, I could smell it faintly. Yet neither of us had been swimming. One Tuesday, I tested my suspicion. I left work early, parked a few houses down, and crept through the back gate. And there he was, an unfamiliar man slicing through my pool as though he owned it. His shoulders broad, his strokes confident. On the deck, my wife sat with her legs crossed, watching him with a smile I hadn't seen in years. She didn't even hear me approach. Her laughter drowned out everything. That was the moment something inside me fractured. And yet, at the same time, I felt sharpened, precise. Revenge is never born of rage. Rage makes you reckless. No, revenge requires patience. So I studied them. Wednesdays and Fridays, always late mornings. He would leave before mid-afternoon. They thought themselves clever, but they weren't. I documented it all. Photos, videos, receipts of wine and groceries. A file of proof, waiting for the right time. But before I dealt with her, there was him, the arrogant fool in my water. Weeks of research told me what I needed. A swimming pool is a delicate ecosystem. Chlorine, stabilizers, pH balance, all carefully managed. Nudge the scale too far, and the water itself turns hostile. I didn't need poison. Poison leaves a trail. I needed something invisible, untraceable, and devastating. I ordered the supplies online. Individually harmless in small doses, catastrophic when combined. Enough to burn the lungs if inhaled, to blister skin on contact. Thursday night, I poured the mixture into the pool system. The pump hummed like it always did, carrying the clear, odorless trap through the water. By morning, everything was ready. Friday, I called in sick, claiming I had meetings across town. She believed me easily. Of course she did. Liars assume others are blind. By noon, he arrived on schedule. Shirt off, muscles flexing, his confidence dripping with arrogance. She greeted him with a quick kiss, nervous but telling. Then he strode to the pool's edge, my pool, and dove in. Seconds later, the scream tore through the air. His body convulsed, fighting the water as though it had turned against him. He surfaced, coughing, gasping, his eyes red, his skin already breaking into angry welts. My wife shrieked, rushing to him, calling his name in panic. She didn't see me step out from behind the curtain. Her face when she finally did. God, I'll never forget it. All the color drained in an instant. Her mouth opened, but no sound came. She didn't need to ask. She knew. Get him out, I said evenly. Before he drowns. She scrambled to drag him to the side, wrapping him in a towel. He whimpered pathetically, no longer the strong lover she adored. Silence stretched between us until her eyes lifted, searching mine for mercy. There was none. I know everything, I told her, dropping the folder onto the table. Inside, photos, dates, times, evidence she couldn't explain away. Her hands trembled as she turned each page, every piece a nail in the coffin of her excuses. You had 11 years, I said softly. And this is what you did with them. I didn't shout. I didn't throw things. My calm was far more brutal. Because she saw clearly then, I wasn't unraveling. I was finished. By evening, he was gone. She begged me not to involve the police, not to ruin his future. I nearly laughed. His future was already ruined. The scars, inside and out, would last long after the pain subsided. And for her, she couldn't begin to imagine what I had planned. The divorce was swift, clean, undeniable. She didn't fight when my lawyer laid the evidence on the table. She walked away with far less than she expected, her reputation in tatters. Friends who once envied her turned distant as the truth spread. As for me, I left lighter, free. Do I regret it? Not for a second. When I think back to that splash, that scream, the exact moment when his arrogance collided with my patience, I feel only closure. Betrayal is rot. If you don't carve it out completely, it consumes everything. I cut deep. I cut clean. And now, when I pass the pool, still silent, reflecting only the sky above, I no longer see their shadows in the water. I see only mine. Whole. Untouched.